Are you in love with football? And what about sports betting? Do you want to earn really big money from it? Experts of BetFac prepare dozens of solid and safe predictions with high odds every day, so you can win a lot and stably. Just sign up through the link in the description and punish your bookie.
And before Real Madrid get their hands on it, we've got the little trophy here, the little beauty. And they're in great shape again. I mean, they don't look the team that they've looked in recent seasons for a large part, but they find a way, Rio, don't they?
Huge experience in that change room, but what they do is better than anyone at the moment is they can go into games, underperform, below par, and still have the individuals to come and pull them out. If it's not Cristiano Ronaldo, like it wasn't tonight, it's the two young guns come in, Vasquez and Asensio, score goals. Martial, they've got abundance of talent in this team that can at any moment take the game by the scruff of the neck and get them a result. And
a manager who's making good substitutions. I know Stephen mentioned it, but it's certainly a fact.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've seen it do it in the run-up against PSG. His team selection was fantastic. Asensio and Vasquez in the team, bringing them extra pace. And he brought the one at the right time sometimes as well. When you get a bit lucky, and that's, I don't want to say he's a lucky manager, but as a manager you do need a bit of luck when sometimes you're bringing someone on and they go and score. It changes the face of the game, but putting Vasquez at right back was a big call. We're all questioning it here, and he did brilliantly in the last 20 minutes.
He's Zinedine Zidane. He could play a bit as well, couldn't he? Yeah. He was not bad at all. Where do you see it at the moment, these two? I mean, I've watched these two sides this season. I don't think either of them are quite as exhilarating as we've seen in recent times. I think it's very winnable for your club.
Yeah, I think Jurgen and the boys will watch that tonight, and both teams have got big weaknesses that Liverpool can exploit. I think this Bayern Munich team and squad they had tonight's not good enough to go to the Bernabeu and overturn this 2-1 lead. They need Coleman back, they need Alaba back to give them a bit of help. They might push Real Madrid all the way, but
it doesn't look good for either Robin, Boateng's injured, Vidal, Neuer of course as well. It's a big list, isn't it?
I can't see them recovering. If you go off in the first half like that, normally it's at least a couple of week injury.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I suppose Juve proved it's doable.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, I think that's something that's a positive for this Real Madrid team. They've seen it happen already this season, and the experience should tell them, listen, we're not going to fall into that zone again. Yeah. And I think the way they approached the game today was quite conservative in the first half especially, but Zidane, again, just reiterating what the boy said, his tactics, his substitutions at good times paid off for him today.
Certainly did. Let's remind ourselves how this game transpired. Kimmich, of course, gave Bayern Munich the lead, which against the run of play in a way.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was quite a tight game to this point. I mean, Marcelo here, we talked about at half-time his recovery run. Sometimes we let him off for these things because he's so brilliant going forward as well. But, you know, Casemiro there should go with a runner. A nice break here from Bayern. I'm not sure where, in the end, it's a shot or a cross. I mean, it is a shot, really. I think he narrowed his own angle. This is where Casemiro has to run. You've got no option, but you have to run back as a defensive midfield player. See the run, spot it, and then you run with him and you can nullify the danger. He doesn't. He's running on goal. And as I say, it's one of those, he's got nothing really else on. Keeper makes it so easy for him. And of course he has to
made himself very small when you've got to make yourself big.
Yeah, I mean, he's guessed, you know, as a keeper you've got to protect your near post. And from Casemiro's point of view, you learn this as a kid. If there's no pressure on the ball, the first thing you do is go backwards to protect your own goal. You can't stand still and let a runner run past you. So he's just half to blame as well.
Yeah, we saw Marcelo there, didn't we, where he went to get the ball and the keeper cleared the other ball out and then he didn't chase back. But what he gives you going forward, Rio, gives you so much, doesn't he?
He's a throwback to Roberto Carlos. He's like a circus player at times with the way he takes touches with the ball, takes risks. And your left back, that's where he's on the edge of your opponent's box. And what he can do when he's in there is he can deliver the goods. And today came up with a huge goal. The timing of that goal as well was huge for Real Madrid. And they went in and the team talk was completely different to what it would have been.
Yeah, certainly is massive difference. Going at half-time and then he makes the changes. Asensio, one of his substitutes, comes on and finishes well.
Well, it was crying out for a change. They did lack that bit of pace that Asensio brings to the team. No one was prepared to run in behind for Madrid really in the first half. But all of a sudden here, Rafinha makes a terrible mistake there with a sideways pass. Great from Asensio, not just to play that ball quickly, but then to get really going and get in his stride, and that's a great finish as well.
I think it's actually poor defending in the end from Kimmich as well. When he gets in this situation, realises he's on his own, he has to turn that into a 1v1.
Yeah.
He has to turn that Vasquez into a 1v1
Make him
because
take you on the
as soon as he
outside.
goes past the ball, Gary, he invites the pass into Asensio and he's dead.
He's a good young player, Asensio, isn't he?
Yeah,
Although
he's a fantastic
struggled to
young
get a
player.
regular game.
Yeah, no, he's got fantastic ability. But one thing we were talking about here in the studio before the game finished is making them substitutions and Gareth Bale doesn't get on the pitch is a huge statement.
Yeah.
And the future of Gareth Bale at this football club at the moment, when 2 substitutions are coming on before him as they did today and made big changes in the game.
It's hard to see him being at Real Madrid next season, isn't it?
I think the statement's a good word because sometimes, say they want him, he's a great player, we know that, but sometimes if the club's moving in the one direction, they keep them on the bench, bringing the young players on. It's a statement to say in the summer things are going to change.
The thing is as well, he's bringing Benzema on before him and Benzema's offering 0.
Yeah.
So that's another concern for him.
Can I just say you said that, not me? I tend to get in trouble.
Benzema's one of your mates, isn't he?
No, I'm a big fan of Benzema, but I just, anyway, let's not go there. Gets me into trouble. But wait, Bayern had so many chances despite of that, didn't they? Even the way, Real Madrid got the game won and etc. But Bayern could have had a few goals in this.
Yeah, and all you ask is when you get a game at this magnitude in the semi-final of the Champions League is to create chances. And this team today, they had chances galore and they just weren't clinical enough. And we spoke at length about Lewandowski before the game as a great striker, and that's so right. But in the game today, you need a man like that to deliver, and he wasn't able to do that. I mean, Ribéry today was rolling back the years. He was twisting and turning the fullback in the first and early parts of the second half. But the delivery and the final piece of the jigsaw in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net just didn't come off for this team
Didn't bounce for them at times as well.
No, never, but they have to be more clinical, especially at this stage of the competition. The quality Bayern have got in the team. I mean, that's another excellent chance from Lewandowski. He tries to lift it and gets it all wrong. They'll all have regrets in the dressing room tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about Lewandowski. He's got to do it. The one thing he's got to do is in the massive game, and he's not quite done that yet. And yet again, he was found wanting.
Yeah, and he's a great striker and he's done it in many a big game, but sometimes people look back on your career, it is those really goals that...
Well, he has scored 6 in semi-finals, up to say.
Of course, we all remember 4 goals against Real Madrid years ago. We're not questioning the fact that he's a great striker, but I think, Ronaldo, he's on an absolute pedestal because he's done it time and time again to actually win the trophies, and it's going to be difficult for him to do it this year.
It's a bit unfair to compare him to the likes of Cristiano, because he's
that is the difference. Of course, it's not the benchmark, it's different.
OK, still to come before we finish at 10:15. We'll look forward to Arsenal's big Europa League semi-final tomorrow. Yes, Real Madrid have done it again. They've got one step in the final, that's for sure. And overall, it's hard to say they deserved it because Bayern had the chances, but if you miss your chances, you pay the price.
Yeah, it is, and they were clinical today. They had 2 opportunities and they really put this team away. But I just think that they're a team that just look like they know how to get the job done. For a number of seasons now, they've got to this stage of the tournament comfortably. This season, it's been a little bit more stop-start. There's a ruggedness about them, but they're just finding a way. And as I said before, they've got individuals that can turn a game on its head in an instant.
Perhaps the biggest threat caused a lot of problems for Real Madrid was Frank Ribéry, 35 years old. Kept going. Didn't quite happen for him ultimately, but he was a constant thorn in their side.
He was. This is the one that got away because, you'd expect Frank Ribéry to get a touch and get his finish away a bit. But no, he was a constant threat, and credit at 35 to show that. The quickness of feet and change of direction that he kept showing. He had a 20-minute spell in the second half where he was the man in creating chances. Unfortunately, he doesn't get his goal, but if anyone's going to make the difference potentially for Bayern in the second leg, it needs to be him again, because he's the real creator for them now alongside Lewandowski and his goals.
Especially with Robin missing, probably.
Yeah, well, he took responsibility tonight. Robin going off so early, he stood up, and the only thing that was missing today was a goal because he was excellent throughout.
Yeah, no Ronaldo goal. I think he's stopped his record, hasn't he? It's something like 12 games on the bounce or something.
Yeah, he has. He'll be throwing boots at the wall in the change room a lot. They've won, but I haven't scored type 5. But this was breathtaking. Although it was handball. Yeah. That was the one moment he had in the game. It was a crazy finish, but yeah, he was isolated today. I thought they played him up front in his own today. He was very much isolated, but again, I think for him, deep down, the team is more important. He'll be just happy they've got the result they've got tonight. I think that's what a professional player should be like. The team's got the result, it's not about me.
I'm not sure it hit his shoulder. He had 28 touches. I'm not sure the one on his arm actually was one of those 28, but he only had 3 in the box, so they kept him quiet.
They did. Maybe he was just human for a day. He was like the rest of us for a day because it happens, but it just doesn't happen to Cristiano Ronaldo, which is maybe not so great for the second leg for Bayern Munich because you don't get too many of those.
No, he's been in great form.
Yeah, I thought Madrid today didn't really create much. As Rio said, he was isolated, but he was feeding on scraps, so you know you can't expect miracles from him all the time.
There was one incident at the very end of the game which we thought was a bit shy. It looked like actually it was just a couple of fans wanting selfies, and then it got a little bit silly, and then it got quite amusing. He takes his shirt off, he runs around. They can't catch him. You thought he looked a bit like
Eric Dyer, wasn't it?
Eric Dyer, yeah, looked a bit like Eric Dyer. I don't think it is Eric Dyer.
No, it's not him.
But in the end, they just can't catch him. Run, Forrest, run! There he goes.
Some physique on him, isn't he? Look.
Yeah, we shouldn't laugh at that sort of thing or encourage it, of course, but it was mildly amusing. We can hear from one of Real Madrid stars, Toni Kroos, former Bayern Munich player, of course. He's with Reshmi.
Tony, congratulations on that victory, 2 away goals. Just how important is that win, particularly considering the chances, after chances that Bayern had in that game?
Yeah, it's true. I think they had more opportunities than us. But it's normal if you play away in the semis in the Champions League, you suffer. that's normal, and they chose a very offensive lineup, and that's what we expected, and they put us under pressure from the first minute. And but I think, of course, we can play better, especially with the ball. I think we had not enough possession to do a very good game, but at the end you have to score, and we did, and we take the good result to Madrid.
Up perfectly, I thought, there in many ways. Let's remind ourselves of how Liverpool got themselves into such a good position with their performance last night.